This poem is titled Pretty Hurts. I was brought up to believe that pretty works. Nobody ever taught me the true essence of what being pretty really means and how being pretty can really hurt. See, pretty got me all the luxuries of what guarantees security. Although it had no substance and no meaning, pretty soon, being pretty began to be pretty easy. I mean, come on. I show up flawlessly. Pretty smile, pretty teeth, nice dress, nice physique. While everyone else was told no, I bat my eyelashes and I'd be told yes. Pretty got me everything of superstition, nonetheless. But what pretty didn't teach me is that being pretty has a double-edged sword. But please, I don't want you to judge me because I wasn't taught the true meaning of pretty. I mean, it's hard trying to be everything that someone else wants you to be. You know, the so-called pretty. If I was told I wasn't pretty enough, you find me in Mac or Sephora trying to wear makeup. If my body type wasn't his normal physique, you find me doing thousands of squats, sit-ups, and lunges to fit the size that he says that I should be. It seems like ever since he had that talk with me once about being concerned about my weight, I find myself subconsciously, after dinner, going to the bathroom to make myself throw up everything. But no matter what I did, it still wasn't good enough, or at least that's what he implanted in my head. At times he'd catch me crying and would look at me with a smirk on his face and call me weak. The reality is I'm trying to be pleasing to him, and simultaneously it is displeasing me because I am not this so-called pretty. I went to the beach last week. I saw this big woman, I'm talking huge, gut bigger than a butt, strutting across the sand wearing a two-piece, and in my mind I'm thinking, does she not see herself? How does she feel this comfortable? How is this possible? I look better than she does. I am the one that's supposed to feel pretty. But yet she reached this thing called confidence in who she is and how she was created to be. And in her mind, regardless of what others think, she knows that she is pretty. Meanwhile, back on shore, I'm wearing this tummy, tuck your stomach in to make you look thin. One-piece bathing suit, which I can barely breathe in, with the wrap around my waist to cover up my cellulite that he constantly reminds me about, as if this isn't genetics and no matter what cream I use, they will always protrude. With SPF sunscreen on my body to keep me from aging, sunglasses just because they look cool, a beach hat to maintain the wind from messing up my hairdo, can't play too close to the water because I got to keep it nice for my dude. And since we're on the subject, I remember at one time I did lose a lot of weight. Then he reminded me of how much of a breast man he is. And ever since I started to lose too much weight, my breasts began to sag and I began to look thin. So you know what I said I'm going to do? I'm going to use birth control pills to make them fuller, because I heard they help you gain weight since they carry a lot of estrogen. But instead, the weight went to my stomach. I swear I didn't know that being pretty was just so complicated. Sometimes I wish I had other things to compensate me. I'm doing everything that he wants me to do, being everything that he wants me to be, and then he has a nerve to call me crazy. You don't say. I mean, but please, I don't want you to judge me because I was brought up to believe that pretty works. Nobody ever taught me the true essence of what being pretty really means and how pretty can really hurt. I mean, I wasn't taught that being pretty and having confidence and self-esteem was so separately. So how am I supposed to overcome this statistic of just being pretty? What am I supposed to do? The only thing I could think of was to pray, hoping and praying that God would show me a sign in some type of way. I cried many sleepless nights and worked through many cold and lonely days until finally an answer came my way. God spoke to me in a whisper. He said, "Psst, hey, pretty." I'm like, God, you can't possibly be talking to me. You made me beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, I am sad and empty. See, mankind has broken me down, has deserted me, forgotten about me. I have been disappointed time after time by he. God said, well, have you learned your lesson? Are you done trusting in mankind and ready to put your trust in me? My eyes started watering as I began to say, yes, God, please show me the way. God said, first thing is, I want you to know that you are pretty. If mankind doesn't clearly see what I saw as I designed you, then he's obviously the one with the issues. Discrediting you by using your perfectly imperfected flaws, you should be second guessing if he's the one for you or deserving of you at all. Let me get my angel Jabril to bring me my garter tablet, because I know when I blew into this upper pen, I wrote that no two men are alike. As a matter of fact, each and every one is different. So why does he think he can change my perfection to his? Why are you wasting your time and making yourself sick? The only thing I built the bin was the rib. That's what I created you from. I wrote the book, not men. Yes, knowledge is free. Learn as much as you can and apply it in this life. But stop trying to be something that I didn't build you to be, especially if he's not trying to make you his wife. I allowed you to slip and fall a few times in order for you to come back. And yes, confidence is a stain that can't be washed off. In case you didn't realize it, you were designed with this in your backpack. Why you think every time you fell off, it was so easy for you to bounce right back? Your esteem was low because every time I got you out of one situation, another you would go. I said, but God, it was always different. He said, yes, but it was all superficial. Now wake up and wipe your tears. And I want you to understand and know that I am here. I wiped my face, opened up my eyes, and I yelled out to God. I said, thanks. He laughed and said, the only thing I did was reiterate. So I learned a few things in my lifetime, and I like to share. Number one, no matter what you believe in, never lose your faith. Number two, if a person doesn't love you for who you are, they don't deserve to be in your life in the first place. Number three, put your trust in God first. After all, mankind will desert. And number four, I am pretty. My pretty does work. Although I wasn't taught the true essence of what being pretty really means, my pretty no longer hurts. Pretty hurts.